just caught back in here. Alright, so mission 4. I don't think there's a lot I can really get here. We'll get air raid for sure, but get vortex. Vortex, I'm not that crazy about. I know level 1 vortex is apparently better for being able to suspend some of the enemies compared to level 2, but I'm not high level enough to be able to pull that off. Could give blue or I might just leave it because I kind of want the double jump. So yeah, I think I'll just try to save up for that for now, and then we can deal with getting the other upgrades later. This part is really funny because if you go through that door, then you could just skip this entire sequence. That said, I'm gonna do it. It's really not that bad. When you get full DT back, I am gonna switch to the Ivory again. Oh, I should have let it play the animation because I'm not really gonna be switching back to them that much. Also, he breaks these pillars, so these are gone. So it's a little easier to get around here now. But the reason I'm switching back to these... Oh, thing I forgot to show. This is true for all the guns. Once you have Alistair or Ifrit, you can use a charge shot. You just hold down the shoot button, obviously. It's Devil May Cry 1, so you have to be aiming to be able to do it. Unlike future games. But, you know, it's still very easily done. And then the other thing is that the charge shot can increase your rank. You have just enough time to get a charge in for the next rank. There we go. But I'm probably not really going to be doing that too much. I don't even think I'm going to be using Ebony and Ivory for the rest of the game at this point. Honestly, I mostly just stick to the shotgun. Especially this part that's going to be coming up here. Get lost. As far as I'll talk about the enemies real quick because I mentioned the other kind of ghost enemies in Sin Scissors. The Marionettes and Bloody Marys, which are the regular enemies there, they don't really have a whole lot going on. They can use their little scythe hand things. Some of them can use shotguns, some throw knives, but either way, they're not much of a threat. Their color denotes how much health they have. I was never actually clear on which ones have more health versus which ones have less. I'm gonna mess this. Yeah, there we go. Alright. This one's annoying. The other one's fine. This one's annoying. But it... Go away. It denotes health. The red ones are called Bloody Marys. They're a little bit different, but not really. This mission's so annoying. I hate this one. I don't know what it is about it. Like, it should not be hard, because all it is just step on the bugs, right? But it's just something about it. It's just... I have just the worst luck with getting them all to stick together here, and I don't know what it is about it, but... I swear I used to have less trouble with it too, is the other weird thing. I'll give this one more try, and then if I don't get it, I'm moving on. I'm not really looking to stick around and do this all. I've already done a playthrough where I get all the orbs and do all the secret missions. I got nothing at this point. This is more just for the fun of it. I don't even know if I'm going to be bothering to upload these. But... that's, there's that mission. The next one is a little weird to activate because you have to do this part out in the corner first. I forget, I didn't get the orbs that are up here. I'm like forgetting right now. I'm pretty sure I did, but... No, I guess not. Okay, whatever. That's why I was trying to jump up there earlier and then got distracted by the combat. This is a fun part where this enemy shadow here basically attacks you out of a cutscene. You do have time to die. So you don't have a lot of time, but you have time. These guys would come back in a big way in 5 because they're actually summons. They're not quite the same though in that they're more like a pain in their words here, like a city. But that kind of goes for all these summons. None of them quite resemble the originals. Nightmare's probably the most obvious because it's like a weird golden never-ending tank, but that's that's a ways off. I keep talking about stuff that happens later. I don't know. This shouldn't be your first experience with this game. This game is awesome. Just play it for yourself. It really holds up too, I think. So, to give a bit of history, I didn't play this until about 2015 or 16. I can never remember exactly when. It was like around late 15 to 16 time. And it's not as crazy of a start for this one as 3 is. And some of the controls a little bit outdated, some of the designs a little, but I still think there's just something about DMC1 with like the atmosphere, the soundtrack. I like it the way it portrays it. He is a little more reserved. Like I do like the crazier later games for sure. That wasn't supposed to happen. But there's something that's very just classy about the original. Also, a visual change that happened starting with DMC2. I'm not the biggest fan of. It hardly matters, but it's just a little bit of characterization. I kind of like that the attacks you have on guns, like the shotgun, the other guns I'm using later in the game, the other like one-handed, kind of like the shotgun or the grenade gun. He uses those with his left hand, and they'll use like a sword with the right. So it kind of gave like a hint how skilled to be fair, it's a pretty nothing detail, but it was kind of cool. Also, I think really the big thing though about DMC1 Dante, I like his design the best. I really do. I think this is the coolest Dante ever made. I am shocked that went so well, because I thought for sure on after that Phantom fiasco, I thought that was gonna be a swift end to this run, but apparently not, so that's good. I'm not gonna bother showing it right now, but that plane has probably one of the most hilarious texts in the game, where Dante's like, oh yeah, this thing's never gonna fly again, like, there's no way, and it's like, do you know what game you're in that you're saying this? It's like escape sequences, never heard of them. The kind of cool thing about DMC 1 as well, I don't think, yeah, he's still okay. So he doesn't comment on the weird webbing and stuff, but a lot of the visual parts of the environment kind of hint at some of the future enemies you're going to fight. Like there was that statue with the lion, shadow comes out of it, you got the puppets all hanging from the ceiling. Obviously there's all the statues of Mundus. And even in a way the puppets kind of hint towards Mundus too, because he's I don't know if it ever says he's controlling them, but I think that's what the implication is supposed to be, since they all kind of spawn in with these streams. It's a little harder to see in the HD version. I think it's probably just something resolution related, but like they're not as clearly visible. Like they're a lot smaller looking. And like the environments like this place, I know the textures are a little weird looking right now. They weren't up-res the greatest, and obviously it's a 2001 game, but I've heard people say that like at the time, like there were better looking games, and I think to a degree that's true, but I think the environments in DMC 1 hold up extremely well compared to say like some of the character models are a little more dated. Whereas some of the other games that people will point to for like games that have aged better from that year, visually anyways, typically like the character models look really good, but then the environments are a little more simpler. And I guess that kind of it still works, and it makes sense why like it would seem like it still holds up a bit better because it's a bit cleaner. But I don't know. I think there's a lot of cool stuff in this castle. It's a very detailed place. But enough about
this
that.
Stinking hole was the last place I thought I'd find anyone with some guts.
Yeah, we gotta let Nelo have his little intro there, because it's another one of those just awesome cutscenes. The cutscenes in this game are obviously they're not as kind of crazy and really well choreographed as the later ones, but the one thing I like about them is how short they are, because it just lets you get back to the game faster. So it's like I won't on some games when I'm replaying them, like most of them, or most games I replay, I feel like I skip the cutscenes a lot of the time. But this is one that it's like it's pretty easy to just watch them again, because it's like they're cool and they're short, so it doesn't feel like it's wasting time. Much like I'm wasting time trying to get this one fragment that I could easily get if I had the air hike, but I don't. But I want to get it, so we're gonna be playing the game of jumping up here for a minute. That wasn't gonna work. I'll give this like 5 more tries, I guess. So 1, 2, 3. That one doesn't count. 4, 5. All right, we'll cut it there. I'm gonna come up here though. Get those, and then I'll get this. And I was really hoping that would have worked somehow, but I was at the complete wrong angle there. Come on. I wonder if come on. Usually he just grabs the ledge. I don't know why he's not. Whatever. I'll deal with it later. You can come back for that one in the next mission, it's fine. Although I don't think I'll have enough to get the air hike yet. From the start. A weird thing about the Devil Trigger mechanic in the first game compared to later games is if you turn it off, you actually spend one of the runes. And then, of course, since Nelo is taunting, it's like you gotta taunt back. on angles you couldn't see, but we'll see. But yeah, Nelo Angelo, he's probably the most beloved boss from the first game. It's just, you know, there's certain archetypes of bosses that are just endlessly fun to fight, and Nelo is absolutely the one for this type of game. Like, anytime you fight somebody who has basically the exact same ability that you have, it's always a good time, I find. And his moveset is almost one-to-one Dante has. A couple of moves are a little bit different. I don't have it yet, but when you get Ifrit, you can even do the kind of fireball move that he does. So, most of it is possible for you to do as well. Not as cool as the fact that you kind of just, like, you beat him and then you lose. It's a little lame. But, look at that. If he won, we wouldn't get to see this weird aneurysm that Nelo has, and then he just turns into fire or whatever. So, is that a worthwhile trade-off? I don't know. That's up for you to decide. So, I'm gonna call it there for this mission. I wasn't planning for that to go on so long, but you know, that's Sacred Missions for